Well, the weather's kind of turning on us. It's been beautiful all month. It's supposed to be down in the 20s beginning next week though, which means these girls want some hay. Good news is the tractor's working, so this isn't quite right, but it's not leaking, so we're gonna run it. Also, I don't remember if I showed you guys this, but we did get my bush hog stuck. It's all bent up, and it kind of always was, so it looks a little bit worse. I haven't tried it yet, but anyway, I'm gonna hook up to this and we'll go get it parked, get the hay spear on, and let's get some mowing done. Oh, what are you doing in there? Must be a mouse or something in there. Alright. Chilly this morning, so yeah, let's go get some hay out. Fueling. Fancy lock on the fuel reel there. So it may be hard to tell on camera, but that spike is it's custom. See the way that one's curved? That's a factory upgrade. You can't get them like that usually, but what that does is makes it harder to get your hay bales on there. Pretty sweet. Alright, so a bunch of new subscribers since last winter when I had to feed hay, so thought I'd just go over how I unroll my hay bales, and I always do. I don't know if it's necessary. I started out that way, so that's what I continue to do. What we have here is this big bar, and I put that there in the middle of the bale, the other end up against my tractor, and now I'll try to use the tractor to shove that rod in there, and I'm going to leave it up against these other ones because sometimes it's difficult. I couldn't get that started in there very far, and sometimes I just can't do it, and then I use the T-post driver and I kind of stand over it, I hammer it with the T-post driver, so that sucks a lot more. And if that's the case, I'll pull it over here out of the way first. That way I don't have to drive into these other ones. Anyway, once I get the spike through there, I'll take it out to the pasture. I already put one out there. So I keep this big old tow rope. It's way bigger than I need. It's just what I have, and it was the only one that was long enough to do what I needed to do. So anyway, I'll set it down out there and then just hook that onto either side of the spike and take off driving with it. Cut the net wrap off, of course. So let's see if I can figure out a way to get my phone to stand up over here, and maybe I can show you stabbing a hole in this thing. Let's try that. That went okay. It got stuck in there, and then when I backed into it the final time there, I shoved it all the way through, so I'll have to shove it halfway back the other direction. Anyway, little Ford tractor. It'll handle these big bales, but you know, it looks kind of silly. The bale's bigger than the tractor, it seems like. I mean, you can hear it 3-point having to hold that up. So it's work for it, but that's what they're for. So let me get out there in the pasture. I already put one out just to keep them distracted while I mess with this one, And then this other one behind me here is going to go over here for my calves. So take you out in the pasture and I'll show you unrolling it. It's better to cut the net wrap when it's still on the tractor, because then I can get it out from underneath it easier. I just forgot. I haven't done this in a year, keep in mind. So anyway, we'll cut it now, even though it's already on the ground. I could pick it up again, but it's not that big a deal. I'll just have to remember to grab it, come back and get it. Alright, so net wrap's cut. Pull it off the backside. Now, Greg Judy has a cool bale unroller that he pulls behind his forklift. I thought about buying one from him, but he's kind of proud of them. I don't blame him. They look well built, and I guess it's his design, so more power to him. American made. But for now, my steel rod works with my tow ropes that I already had. So, I don't know. Maybe someday. Now, last year doing this, the power steering wasn't working on the tractor. It's so much better this year already, I can tell. I'm going to enjoy this a lot more. So like to pull up to right here where I'm at, I went over and I pushed that back in there. Like I said, I would have to. Come on. And then was able to just, I didn't have to make like a 3-point turn to get that close to it. Let's see where it's at, like right there. It's pretty tight. Oh, just tight enough. And anyway, last year I would have had to make a 3-point turn to get to where I'm at now. So, third gear. Yeah, there, dog. And we just take off with it. It's kind of nice. You guys are like a rear view mirror. Sometimes those ropes will walk. This one's going pretty good, but sometimes they'll walk off the end. Then I'll have to reset it. If I get that bar in there kind of crookedy or something, sometimes I just have to go push it the rest of the way by hand. The idea here is that see, that can happen too. The idea behind unrolling them is that, one, it makes it a little bit closer to what they're used to, the way that they normally eat, just forage off the ground. So it's supposed to be a little bit better in that regard, and then it spreads out all that organic matter, so it's not just clumped up in one spot. They don't eat everything, you know. There's always a certain amount of waste that stays on the ground. So by spreading that out, I'm spreading all that extra biomass out over larger areas. Come on. You can do it. Yeah, rope's getting wrapped up. It's all right. Got enough of it. So if this happens a lot, I'll just end up with like a little tube of hay, and no big deal. So pull this off, and then I'll have to work my my bar back out of there. Sometimes it's kind of a pain. So it looks like this bale was actually wrapped a little bit unevenly. It was a little bit thicker on this side, and that happens. Oh yeah, I'll come right out of there. So then this little hole up here on the front of my loader, travels right there. And these just get wrapped back up the way they were before. That's how you unroll a bale of hay without a bale unroller. At least that's how I do it. It's more time consuming. You know, the guy that I got this idea from is actually the guy I bought my last set of cows from. He said this is how he used to do it. He's got a nice flatbed truck now though, with one of those cool Dewey's hydraulic bale unrollers. That would be the way to go, but I don't have one, not yet. Someday, maybe. Alright, I'm going to put one out for the calves, and then I got to go get my feed troughs. They're on the other side of the creek. I got to bring them back up because grass is going dormant. Now technically, they still have enough forage for probably another week or two, but it's about to get real cold, so I just want to make sure I'm taking care of them. This Bermuda grass is what most of this is, so that's broom sedge. Obviously, they don't eat that. That's garbage. I'd like to get rid of it, but everything around it there, it's mostly Bermuda grass, and it's dormant, but the dormant Bermuda has almost as much nutrient content as the living Bermuda. It's not quite as good, but there's a lot in it, more than you would expect. So I'm probably a little bit early putting hay out, but like I said, it's about to get down to the 20s for several days, and they won't. They like it. You can see all over there eating it. Can you see? Anyway, they're happy about it, so they're happy. I'm happy. Anyway, let's get one out here for these calves. Their pasture is actually closer. They were needing it sooner, so anyway, we'll get one out for them real quick. Go. Yeah, look at that. See that? Dog off on top of the hay bales. How'd she get up there? I've heard that terriers can climb trees. I guess that must be true. I don't know how she got up there. Where'd she go? Oh, she back down. Dog, how did you climb those hay bales? You're so little. That doesn't even make sense. Alright, so this is my little feed trough system. It's pretty simple. It's just a box. This one's 2x6s. This other one's 2x4s. Again, it's all just recycled material. Stuff that I had. So I got some of my oil filled pipe, just with some kind of sucker rod. It's kind of a trick to do with one hand. But you just set that in there like that. Boom. Instant feed trough. So I found that if you just set them so that bar is kind of right up against it, I can lean this up against my legs. Maybe I usually kind of do this at the same time. It's super easy to do with two hands. It's really hard to do with one hand. Then you just kind of fold them over. You just push them. Boom. Feed trough. Come over here and stand on it and break it for me. I just fixed it for you. This one's the same way. Hang on, I gotta set you down. Oops. Do that side. They're all excited. Nothing in them yet. Let's fix that. I got some feed for them. Be right back, girls. Got a few stragglers. They'll find it though. Early bird gets the worm though, girls. He's over there. They're gonna miss out a little bit. That'll be all right though. They're all eating that hay over there, so they're fine. They're happy. These girls gonna get a little bit extra, but I hollered at them there, so they're coming. They're gonna miss out though if they don't hurry. It won't last long, so there's 100 pounds out there, but they'll have it eaten down in a matter of just a few minutes.